Hey, love bugs, it's Roslynn back at you one more again. I hope everybody is doing blessed. I'm doing blessed and highly favored, and definitely hope the same for you. And if this is your first time stopping by my channel, much love to you and welcome. And to my returning subs, to my growing extended beautiful family, as always, thank you so much for the love and support y'all are constantly showing me. So I'm sending that right back at you. So with that being said, much love to all. Namaste, love and blessings, love and light, and many blessings are definitely coming our way. So if you have been watching my videos for a while already and have not, please like and subscribe. Hit that notification bell at the bottom so you know when I'm about to upload my next video. Also, if you're comfortable enough, drop me a line or two. I would love the chance to get to know you as much as you're getting to know me, even if it's not, even if it's about the positive feedback to the video, or you're up and telling me about your empathic gift that impacts your life and heading you towards a positive direction. If you feel like the videos are uplifting and insightful that you would love to share with a loved one, family, or a friend, or even a fellow empath that are going through trying times at the moment and just needing spiritual guidance or confirmation or validation towards life path or even soul purposes, please go ahead and share. And while you're at it, give a thumbs up, like, and also share on your social media favorites wherever you see fit. As always, thank you for the love and support. It is truly, truly a blessing. And I'm still listening to the same meditative music from Anthony Summers' channel, and it's called Euphoria. Complete restoration, body, mind, and soul. And the video I'm doing today is Twin Flame 101 Heyokas. We are putting a stop with what no longer can continue. There's a lot of different things that we have experienced throughout our lives, where maybe you had early exposure to, wounds as a child, to where it became a natural thing for us to keep doing, that we're allowing ourselves to do that. We're not allowing ourselves to allowing ourselves to be having continued toxic, connections with other people, because these are the things that is breaking those habits of what we have. A lot of times, I even look at back in my old texts, not old texts, but old comments, people are like, Roz, you had connections with narcissistic people or people that were very toxic, were, a sociopath or psychopath, whatever, sadist, all these different things. It's like anybody that we know that has a toxic vibration. There was something that we saw within them, we saw within ourselves. And it's like the more the purpose, you'll start to see there's different things in your life that it can be an ongoing pattern. Being able to share love with our loved ones. If it's something that's in your life that you no longer talk to your family for, whether it's a brother, sister, mother, father, even life partner, anything like that, that could be something that y'all can really just talk over and make amends. Don't waste no time doing that. It's just so many things that's going on in this world today where we're filled with regrets because there's people that have transitioned, and there was so many things that that we didn't say. We let pride get in the way of that. There's so many different things that's going on where we have lost different people that, meant to the most to us, that was in the public eye. They're no longer here, and a lot of times when it comes to like musicians and stuff like that, there's a lot of people who didn't know who these people were until after their passing. With this situation with Earl Simmons, I'm gonna use a picture of him with one of my other people that I truly love. I love both of them, because I did admire a lot of the things that they did. Aaliyah Haughton, she was she transitioned like it was 2001. It was like right before the Twin Towers situation. And it was just like with when I see Earl, DMX, I really admired him. A lot of times people will probably say he's very aggressive within his words and stuff like that. But it's just like, if you have experienced things in the way he does, that's just within his character. But he's always been bold about his truth. And I can really admire him on those things. There was a lot of songs, back when I was just like rowdy like that. And I was even listening to the songs today. And, I was trying not to shed a tear, But a lot of people were talking about, when it comes to things like this, you should not show people that love when it has to get to that type of situation where you're saying your final goodbyes. Allow these people to know flowers when they can still smell them. There's a lot of times that we let pride get in the way of things that it could have been something that just easily just squashed and made amends and keep moving. And a lot of times we don't allow ourselves to do that. And then we finally recognize those things that we should have said. It's already too late. There's a lot of people in my family that has passed on that I didn't have that experience, or even if I did, it was like with my mom. That was the only mom I know I had, my biological mom, my mom that raised me, but my mom that raised me will always be seen as my mom. And I still appreciate, even my biological mom that I don't have any kind of, connection with, and I still love her to this day, even though we may never talk. And I have to be able to respect those things. And, I really thank her for bringing me here. It was like built on, not so good terms with a situation of, bringing a child in the world as a teen, but it was like my purpose was here, even though I went through a lot of things and stuff like that. It allows me to really appreciate every uplift in my life, every struggle, every storm, every win, and you're allowing yourself to not second guess yourself. Those are the things that need to really stop. When you're seeing that everything that's going on in the world, it shouldn't take somebody losing their life for people to come in unity. Even though it's a beautiful thing, the devil tries to use that against us, and every single time love always conquers everything, no matter what is going on. It was just a beautiful thing when I seen all these people were having a visual for Earl and paying their respects to him. I think a lot of his children are coming to say their final goodbyes to him. And, I'm really hoping that he can pull through with that, and it's just like only God can say, have that last say. But it's just heartbreaking, where, I really respect him, because he had no problem with telling people, hey, I've been dealing with a lot of issues, and where I dealt with it was, through attachments. And I really felt him as being an empath. It was always that energy he had was very well spoken. It was like his energy spoke before he did. And and he was just like, I can really respect a person that can sit up here and show the good side of things that they have done, and also the bad things as well. And I can really really respect that, and I can really allow myself to connect with that, because I've had those types of situations where I fed myself through instead of allowing myself to face my pain. I sugarcoated it with different addictions of escapes, and a lot of us do that. And he was one of those empaths, just like I seen Aaliyah. I've seen a lot of other, people in the industry that have passed on before that, they're taking their place on that throne where they're needed in a different place. And it is just like so many things. You feel that heaviness when, a lot of these, people in the industries are, getting taken out, or, somebody, took their life, or, they OD'd or something like that. And it's just like, I hear a lot of people say, dang, I didn't know who they were until after this. And, I wish I would have been able to, know them in that way like other people did, when they were here. And that's why it's just so many things. Life is too short. Life is too short for us to sit up here and, be fretting off of things that are out of our control. Allow us to live for today. If we lose a loved one that is in our lives that, was denied life, they want us to be able to keep going for them. They always tell us, hey, I don't want you to be sad, all those different things. And I hear that a lot, from my family, from the other side. And a lot of times it's like, especially, throughout certain months, especially, when it comes to other people that have passed away in your life, it's just like certain times is really a very sensitive time for you, but you're trying your best to move forward, trying your best to be, positive, because you don't know what God has in store for you. A lot of times we feel like, I needed them here in my life. I needed to be, in that connection with them. A lot of times we will take for granted thinking people are always going to be here. And you have to be able to, respect those moments while they're here. If you have somebody that's truly in your life and it's something prideful, if it's something toxic or something like that, that's a whole different story. But if it's something that that's very petty, that y'all can get, y'all can talk it out and get through that, please do that. Because you just never know. I mean, there's a couple of people I wish, if I could ever turn back time. There's a lot of things that, is still, heavy on my heart, and I'm working on making peace with it every single day, that I wish I had the opportunity to have those things in my life. And that was stolen from me. But then it allows me to know my purpose was for a reason for it to happen that way. And everybody has those things to try to understand when they're going through that storm of healing. Like, why did this have to be me? Why did it have to happen like that? When you're allowing yourself to, don't punish yourself for things that that can't be changed. You have to understand, and and a lot of times it's hard to do that, because it's easier said than done. But they want us to be able to know there's always a higher purpose for things that is taking place in our life. Not allowing people to be in your life that is not appreciating you. A lot of times I even said it, with things I put myself in situations, then now I'm appreciating those healing times. Like, there was a lot of things that I felt like I could never get over because I was going through so many different things, like back to back to back. And I'm just like, they always tell you, baby, my mom, and I hear my grams and them always saying, baby, God ain't gonna put nothing on you can't handle. I said, he must be thinking I'm a badass, because you hit me with all these L's at one time, but then that's the things that strengthen me. Because it was just, fact is, all that together, it was like we were betting on that was going to fold me in, but yet I'm still here, and I mean, there's times I done had my eyes filled with tears and tell God I can't continue to do this. It hurts too much. And then he'll always tell me, it's not over until I say it's over. And you're not dealing with these things on your own. You don't know what's going on behind closed doors. We're all fighting some kind of war within our own wounds that we seriously need that peace in. Don't sit up here and sacrifice your mental health, your well-being to keep somebody around because you feel like that's all that's going to come into your life. If God has closed that door on you, don't open it back up. If something has been taken out your life, no, it's either going to come back to you or you're going to get something a lot better. A lot of times you have to understand, if you're in a toxic relationship and, and they want to go, allow them to think that they got something good when they had something better here. And by the time they understand that you were that better one, you done found something a lot better. So whatever that is, if they're in somebody's life and they were toxic with you, allow that to be somebody else's headache while you're molding yourself to heal yourself to become someone else's blessing. All those relationships that you went in that was failed, those were, a lot of times I just say, I wish I never met these people. Why didn't I just turn away? Why didn't I know that? But these are the relationships that's going to teach you for when you finally find that soulmate, the do's and your don'ts, what you're going to put up with, what you're going to deal with. Look at all the signs that, certain things was placed in the present for you to not fall through and say, oh, it's just a bad day. Because if that stuff starts repeating, don't allow somebody to take you for granted for things. And a lot of people, they will continue with, you'll allow what they will always continue. When you see that, they're not knowing your worth and they're not acknowledging that, they feel like you just a dime a dozen. When people treat you as an option, you need to leave. You need to truly leave because you are that choice, and that beautiful choice. And you have to be able to see yourself as that. We're all being put in these situations where either we had like domestic issues. I don't really want to use certain words you got to use in your videos nowadays when it comes to YouTube. If you were, exposed to those type of things when you were growing up, a lot of times you will fall in that same pattern as your parents, your grandparents, and everything like that. You're making that choice to where, if you're dealing with children, there's a lot of people that have been in that position where they were guided towards me. And I tell people, if you have children, especially if they're very young and they're seeing you get hurt, you have to try your best to be able to cut that cord, because it's like you're showing them this is how they're supposed to be treated. If you're a mom and you have children, and you're in a very toxic relationship where it can be verbally, mentally, even people when they're married, they will, they'll take that essence of you, and they feel like, oh, I can get that anytime I want to, within, what they call it, relations, where they feel like that and don't even realize that that's assault as well. But then it's just like you have to be able to allow yourself to know this is not going to continue, because when you're allowing yourself to go through things like that and your children are seeing it, that makes them lose respect for you, and also that makes you have them basically making them think that something like that is normal. I always try to tell people, hey, cut this off and cut it off quick, because number one, you don't need anything to happen to you and your children. I watch a lot of those, those 911 calls and stuff like that. Your children don't need to be exposed to anything like that. If you have friends or, a different, if you can go here, professional that you need to probably talk to get through those things, please do that. Those are the things that has to stop. Allow yourself to love yourself better than you loved anybody else. All that love you don't put in somebody else, make sure you're putting that into yourself. You need you. You're going to need yourself before anybody else needs you. And so you have to be able to place that love within yourself. Never take anything for granted. If you're going through the worst of the worst, and it's going to, it's preparing you for the better. Those are where your strengths come in, on all the things that you have conquered. A lot of times we don't feel like we're able to heal from certain things in our life that really done shook us to the core, and it's just like, it's not going to happen overnight. It's just not, there's times where, I felt like my purges was my last one, and here it come knocking, and it's just like knocking like a bill collector, like, Lord have mercy, didn't I just pay you? Why are you back? It's bill time again, and it's just like that. You're going through all these things because it's strengthening you in ways, is reminding you of who you truly are. Be steadfast in your power. Allow yourself to know you are not going to accept anything that less is what you deserve. If you're placing those higher standards up that you want people to meet within you, you have to be able to hold them tight to yourself. Not sit up here and tell somebody, oh, you ain't gonna disrespect me, you ain't gonna do that. But when you're talking to yourself, you talk to yourself bad. You're not supposed to do that. You can't, tell somebody to respect yourself when you don't respect yourself. I used to put myself in positions where I just wanted to feel wanted. I just wanted some kind of a connection. And, there's many days I cried because I put myself in situations to where, I didn't have respect for myself. And now it's just like, I love me, regardless of who else don't love me. I love me. There's a lot of different things I'm struggling with, but hey, there's a reason for everything taking place. It's allowing me to taking back anything that I gave my power to that didn't deserve that, because you supposed to hold your power. If you're in love with somebody, or they claim that they're in love with you, they will never take something like that from you. That's too expensive. You have much money in the world, but that is too expensive. Anything that is sacrificing your dignity, your happiness, your mental health, anything like that, that's not the ones you need to be with. If you're telling people about boundaries and they get mad, those aren't the people you need to be around. Those ain't your type of people. Be careful, just stay mindful of all the people that congratulate you and ain't doing that drive. You so good. And they say, so as soon as you turn around, just mad as I don't know what, because you don't conquer something. Stay away from folks like that, because those are the type of folks that make sure you don't never overcome anything. You got to be aware of all your opponents. Okay, you got to be fair and square with all your opponents. But things are coming to a halt. There's so many different things that's taking place in this world where it's dividing us in the most senseless way. All of our lives matter. We shouldn't be, having to go through these different things. We shouldn't have to come together on a good cause when it comes to somebody's life that's being taken, or somebody is on their way out. You should show these people your love. Don't, all these things are coming out right now where all these people are going through things, and it's like not being said until it gets to that time. Those people need to feel that love when they're coherent, when they're able to walk around, just, smell the fresh air, not when they're in a hospital, and it's no bad, there's no bad things I'm trying to say anything about anybody that's going on with this situation with Earl, but it's just like I know another person that talked about that, where that's just anybody that's going through anything. You never know. That a lot of times those people that are going out to make sure that you're okay, that shows you their support, or they're trying to make you laugh, those are the ones you really need to check on and make sure they're okay. You know, we're all fighting something in this world that we're trying to heal over. It shouldn't take something like this to happen for people to come together. You know, do it while we're still living, doing where, you know, we'll know. You know, life is too short for all these different things that's coming on. But, you know, even if you don't know who DMX is or Earl Simmons, please just keep him and his family in his prayers. You know, they're saying a lot of different things. It's not looking good. You know, that man's been through an awful lot. You know, I really admire him. You know, I love him to death because, you know, he always made me laugh and he was bold. So, you know, I really respect his, I really respect the things that he used to push out, though. But just keep his family in his prayers, you know. And I hope and pray he can be able to pull through on this. So I would love to give a post notification shout out to Habs Harris, Marissa Williams, Asaya Zell, and 8 Unicopia 8 Unicorn Copia, I'm sorry, and Lauren Brandon and 3 Kings. Much love to you. Three key things. See y'all later. Lord Jesus, bye. This is my last video for tonight, so I'll try to make some videos tomorrow or the day after that. Much love to you. Peace.